Mark Halperin is here, premier political journalist, former political director of ABC News, co-author of best-selling books Game Change and Double Down, two books that I read as I was getting into politics and political reporting. I still remember, Mark. Thank you for that. And then also the founder of Two Way. It's good to see you. What is the plan, I should say, to celebrate Joe Biden, which it seems like the DNC wants to do, and not sort of kick him aside, and at the same time, to borrow a phrase, be unburdened by his legacy and his policies?
Leland, good to see you. I call it the hug and the Heisman all at once, right? She's embracing the Biden-Harris administration, in part because part of the base likes it, and in part because it would be absurd to not say she was part of the administration. But there's also the Heisman part, which is she is distancing herself by proposing some new things and by using subtle language, more of which I expect we'll hear at her convention acceptance speech, to make it clear that she's her own person. We saw Al Gore do this. We saw George H.W. Bush do this. It's tricky. And I think before today, she was off to a good start. I think some of the policies today may land her in some trouble. But the pirouette, the minuet, the Heisman and hug, I think is going pretty well.
Two big differences, right? George H.W. Bush is giving a speech trying to inherit the legacy of Ronald Reagan, who at the time was immensely popular and had done an enormous amount, and people felt great about Morning in America. You had Al Gore trying to inherit Bill Clinton, which was sort of a very popular way of governing. In America, you look at what you said about the policies, right? Harris's plans to lower costs, new housing units, lowering the cost of prescription drugs, first ever federal ban on price gouging, went through that a lot, $6,000 child tax credit for newborns. Trump's vision for America included a $5,000 tax credit for children, increase energy production, save Social Security, in Medicare, and they both want no taxes on tips. It almost sounds like this is a populist bidding war. No, no, no. $10,000 and no tax on beer.
Well, there's some of that for sure. But there's also the policies that she announced today that are maybe flecked with populism, but are really just big spending, big government programs that are popular with some Americans, to be sure. But for the first time since she took over for Joe Biden at the top of the ticket, I'm hearing Republicans breathing a sigh of relief and saying, maybe there's something to go at here. Maybe finally, by putting meat on the bones, it's going to be easier to convince people she's a San Francisco radical. We'll have to see how it plays out. But and as I said, some of the things she proposed, maybe all of them, are popular with parts of America. But the overall package, the parts that move from populism to big government and big spending, I think it may finally be creating an opening for Republicans to begin to define her.
Yeah, we asked Corey Lewandowski at the top of the show, who's now part of the Trump campaign, 26 days that they allowed her to sort of define herself before finally finding a way in here. Think about the Democratic convention headline speakers: Biden on Monday, Hillary Clinton Monday, Obama Tuesday, Bill Clinton Wednesday, Tim Walz Wednesday, Kamala Harris Thursday. There's a reason that Joe Biden, at least on the schedule, isn't coming out on Thursday to pass the torch to a new generation of Americans.
Well, look, they've got to honor him. That's part of the whole Heisman hug thing. But he'll be out of town, after the first night. And you've seen past conventions like this, where you've got something you need to do for whatever reason. They try to get it out of the way as quickly as possible and move on. And that's what they're doing. The Republican convention, Leland, as you know, was so technically proficient. They really put the bar in a high place. The Democratic team is doing this with the exception of a few other speakers beyond the ones you outlined there. The whole thing is still pretty heavily under wraps, partly because these things are chaotic and last minute, but partly because they've got a secret plan here. And part of that is to honor Joe Biden, but also try to put him in a memory hole by Tuesday afternoon.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.